8,300, 10 pounds, big triple slide Cherokee 304 bunkhouse with outside kitchen here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. She is long, she is strong, and she is down to get the camping on. So, call me. Call us here at Haylett RV. As far as I can tell, this is one of those unusual cases where someone went out camping and it just wasn't their cup of tea, because they actually swapped this out for a vehicle and ended their camping days. In the meantime, they didn't seem to really use it a whole heck of a lot, so you're getting a pretty new camper that, you know, a bunch of people haven't, you know, slept in a bunch of times and wore out effectively. Now, I haven't actually pulled it up to the shop and plugged everything in, but as far as I can tell, everything appears to be in good shape and working order. Again, it just doesn't look like it was used much, and they went, you know, what are we doing with this giant camper that we don't use very often when, you know, we could get a new vehicle? And I think that's why they swapped her out. So you've got the kitchen slide over there, which makes the room for the island, then directly across from this big sofa and dinette super slide. And what that creates is this big open living area with a nice wide open welcome way, you know, so you're not constantly tripping over each other when you come and go. Throughout, this is really the generation where Cherokee started to define itself. And as a Cherokee dealer, I remember when these things were brand new. I haven't looked. There's actually an above average chance that we sold this one brand new if it came from Southern Michigan, since we're the state's largest independent RV dealer. But this is where Cherokee kind of, they had a rebirth, and they came out better, stronger than ever. And things like the sealed edge thermofoil countertops with the recessed kitchen sink that we're looking at right here, that was really one of the kickoff features of that. One of the first things I noticed. You've got your high-rise sprayer faucet over here. In your kitchen slide, they did some smart things, I think. You've got that full drawer below the oven right there, so they're not wasting any space. And then next to the oven down low, you actually have the microwave. But what that creates is bigger, easier, well, first of all, it gives you a bigger cross breeze window here within the slide out itself. But secondly, it makes it easier to get to this prep space right here, because you're not like, you're not reaching out with your head cranked back because there's a cabinet in your face. And notice how we've got power outlets right next to that big countertop area. You're also going to find power outlets all around the island here. So you've always got room for prep space, which, you know, if you're planning on firing up the griddle and going pancake crazy on one of these things, this is a great floor plan to do it. Now, another thing that they've done here, I'm actually going to turn us to the left, is right next to the entry door, you've just got this big storage cabinet. Now, this could easily be a pantry space for you, but what's neat is it's actually like the second pantry, because next to the kitchen island over here, we've got just a ridiculously sized pantry area with just a real swinging door. Not one of these super skinny toothpick pantries that always makes you go armpit deep to get to the storage. That is big, that is serious. You can pack a lot of food in that thing and a lot of dry goods, so that, or appliances, you know, when you need to pull out those griddles and stuff, you actually have a place to store that. But what's kind of cool is, like, you're looking at it and you're going, yeah, but there's not a whole lot of drawers in the kitchen. Well, that's really where the island comes into play, because this island is for a lot more than just prep space. If we take a look below, you've got 6 full extension plywood box drawers in here, and 4 of those are oversized drawers to give you larger capacity spaces. Now, down in the middle over here, you've actually got a split shelf, so that if you have big stuff, you could put it in there. And if you were looking for something like a place to put a wastebasket, it's really nothing to take that shelf out and put something in there. Everybody camps a little different in that regard. Now, couple things while we're in the living room here. I want to point out, you've got this little, like, theater seat arrangement right here. So it's just a quick fold-down sleeper sofa. But you see that armrest that flips down right there with some cup holders in it. Well, that is on Boardwalk and Park Place, basically staring directly at your entertainment center. Now, the previous owners, they weren't lowlifes or anything. They didn't steal the TV out of this. Brand new, this camper did not include a TV. But what's neat is, if you want to add one in there, you're good to go. Everybody camps different. Again, not everyone's looking for that entertainment type situation. But if that is your interest, you've got a very good entertainment center set up here. But as I mentioned, that is a fold-down sleeper sofa. So as if the bunks weren't enough space for sleeping, over here we've got a little jackknife sofa. Now, this is certainly only going to be appropriate for the littles, maybe a big dog if you throw a little blanket or something on there. But over here we've got this big, long, like 7-foot U-dinette that can easily sleep an adult, maybe two or a couple small kids. Kind of depends on how familiar we are with one another. And also what's kind of neat here is below the dinette, you can see that we've got these huge 40-inch full extension drawers that are fully plywood boxed. So you can get some big heavy-duty storage in there, but you can access it whether someone's sleeping on the dinette, sitting at the dinette, or, well, pretty much any time the slide's open, effectively. But those are really just the bonus sleeper sections. The bulk of your sleeping is going to, for the kids anyway, you got your master bedroom up front, but the bulk of the sleeping for the kids is going to come back here in the primary bunk room. You've got a pair of these convertible, fold-out sort of futon sofa jobs right here where you can have two kids sleeping below and one above, in addition to the what I call big kid bunk that you'll see over here. You've got a larger sleeping space. Now you might notice these little cushions right here. Those normally go in that little convertible cube job. So if you want to scoot around the mattresses, you can actually have sleeping for 5 in this bunkhouse. Now behind this wall is the outside kitchen, so this bunk kind of sticks out in the way a little bit, but you do have a neat little storage chest here. And you might be asking yourself, why doesn't it go all the way over there? And that's because there's a thing back there, like probably the furnace or something like that. So you've got all kinds of sleeping. You've got daytime seating arrangements for the kids, for the guests, whatever you have. And that top bunk can kind of fold up and flip out of the way. Now, I'm not about trying to hide things from people. Full disclosure here, one of the bunk mattresses, the people had taken the slip cover off of, and this is just the stuff that's packed inside of it. It's the recycled bedding material, basically, recycled cotton, plastics, whatever. That's what's inside most bunks, by the way, in case you were curious. It's a green recycled material. Yay, environment. But one of the bunks, basically, the mattresses is a bit chewed up. So this is an extra mattress I had on top of the other bunk previously. It's just the way it worked out as I flipped through here. By the way, oh, before I forget, if you do want to add a TV back here for the kids, bang, good to go. Now, you've got some decent dedicated storage within this bunkhouse as well. And it's nice to have not just shelf storage, but actual hanging storage for the kids as well, because that's something that a lot of campers don't offer you. Now, moving forward here, just give you a quick look at it the other way since we've pretty much polished the kitchen and the living room off. You have both a vent above your hot cooking sources on the right side of the screen, and then in the upper left, you've got just a general skylight with a shade that you can pull down for, well, extra natural light as we're enjoying right now. Or if it's really hot outside, you pull that shade shut to help keep some of the sun out. Now, overall, this thing has some very big windows that open right up and give you plenty of light. We do have central air. We do have central heat. Over here, up toward the bedroom area, this is actually what's kind of cool about this. Most bunkhouses place the bathroom next to the bunkhouse. But a lot of times, mom and dad like to get up at night to be able to use the bathroom. So this one actually has the bathroom up next to mom and dad instead of back next to the kids, which is kind of cool. And you can see it's a dual entry bathroom. You can get to it from either side. You've got an extra large sink in here, extra large vanity. A corner shower instead of a travel trailer tub is another one of the really neat things on this floor plan, because frankly, you don't generally have enough water available, or even when you do have park water, you don't have enough gray tank available for everyone to like take a bath. Now you also have the bigger Max Air vent fan up here, which if you look at it, looks like it just wasn't used a whole heck of a lot. But with my experience level walking through this camper, I could have told you that already. This is the shorter Camp Queen. There is storage below it. You can access it from inside or outside, but they do leave you room here. If you want to upgrade to a larger residential queen, you have the space to do that. Both sides of the bed have little side stands with some power outlets, and over here we also have USB plugs to help keep all the phones and whatnot, and you know, like the smartwatches and all that garbage all charged up. Dual hanging closets, pretty simple but effective bathroom, or bedroom rather. But this extra large window right here, if you're laying in bed and you hear one of the kids holler or something like that, or you hear a funny sound on your campsite, you can just sit up and take a peek outside. And it does look like the previous owners may have added a TV here to the bedroom at some point. But what's nice is now you don't have to do any guesswork. You can see exactly where you would need to mount one if that's your interest. Speaking of TVs, if you do choose to add a TV to the bedroom, what's kind of cool is you got this little quick release bracket right here, and you're going to find a matching mount for it outside. And that's what we find right here next to the outside kitchen. So if you do have a TV that you want to float between the living room, or it's game day, or you're tailgating or whatever, you want to bring this thing outside, this is great for indoor or outdoor entertainment. Now, as long as we're here, let's look at this, because they put a larger full-size outside kitchen in here with some great cabinet space. And you might notice you've got the same very house-like residential-ish shaker-style cabinet designs going on here that you'll have in the rest of the RV. And those are hardwood cabinet door frames, not like less expensive, like pressboard kind of nonsense, you know. A bigger outside refrigerator also means that there's going to be less foot traffic tracked through the RV. And with the bathroom being located closer to the entry door, there's just going to be less dirt tracked through the RV in general. You've got both an outside cooktop as well as the plywood box drawer over here to keep your spatulas and utensils and whatnot, and a real sink with a real drain, so you're not flipping the dog dish onto the ground, as it were. You know, some of the campers have a little bowl sink that doesn't have a drain. This is not one of those. And then we've got more of that sealed edge countertop stuff here that I mentioned already. Now, you've got a pretty good size power awning on this one right here, and it's actually an easy tilt awning, which is nice, so 2 fingers can pull that thing down. There's actually blue accented LED lighting both above the super slide and below that big awning right there. So it gives it kind of a neat little glow, and the super slide light can actually function as a pretty cool little like night light for the kids. It might throw some people off, by the way, that your black tank flush hookup is over here as opposed to the other side of the camper, but remember that your bathroom is over here. So this is the most direct path to lead to that black tank to give you the most powerful flush, which is frankly its purpose, so it needs to be where it is. Simple side mount solar prep for those portable panels. If you want to park in the shade to keep the camper cool and then chase the sun with those, you can. Here's a look at that storage that's under the bed that I mentioned. Obviously we can get to it from this side of the camper as well. The nose of this, you see that smooth aluminum sweep on it. That's not a fiberglass nose. It's a fully automotive painted nose, and it's actually an extra thick skin. So basically the whole nose of this thing is diamond plate. Now, at some point, I'm going to guess that this camper was parked pointing east most of the time, because it looks like the actual Cherokee decal on the nose above the Wolf graphic must have given up the ghost from sun exposure. But what's nice, and what's a positive indicator to me, is that somebody didn't leave it that way. And that's an indicator to me that I've learned to look for over the years, that it was actively cleaned, maintained, and those are good things you want to look for. This does have a full walk-on roof, by the way. Hot, cold, outside shower over there to hose the kids off if they've been in the lake. This one was outfitted with an enclosed holding tank setup. So if it is going to kind of dip below freezing, your holding tanks and all your exposed plumbing lines are no longer exposed. 2016, as all the stickers seem to indicate. And we do have a 200-pound rated flip-down cargo rack back here, and you do not need to peel the spare tire off to use that. Spare tire's never seen the light of day. The tires look good. It is ready for backup or observation cameras. You see the pre-prep mount up there, and those are things that we have on the shelf all the time here at Haylett RV. And that leads us back to the outside kitchen and entertainment station where we kind of began this adventure. Now, one thing I didn't mention, you've got the full outside kitchen area over here, but up front below that black tank flush, there's actually a second propane hookup, so that if you are looking to like bring along an extra grill or something, you can set it here without it being encompassed under that awning. And in case you're curious, a lot of people ask, doesn't that slide out eat into your awning space? The answer is no, it doesn't really take away anything functional. You've still got plenty of functional space in this thing, because those awnings are about 10 feet deep, and that's only about a 18 to 20 inch deep slide out. Plenty of room for picnic tables and things right there. Guys, give us a call. Things like this don't come in often, especially late model and clean like this. You know, we do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.